I'm embarrassed to wear my bro Dave Filoni cowboy hat for this review. So I guess here we go. This is the only review I'm going to do. I have a 3-episode limit that I place on all shows. So I'm officially done. I will not do many more videos on this show. I'm not going to talk about this. See, people complain, but I feel like if you really want to change shitty media from being put out, you have to choose not to watch that media and or be a personality like myself and promote it. And for me, this isn't Star Wars. This is bad fan fiction writing. So I'm going to give you guys a little recap of the first 2 shitty episodes and then bring you up to speed to this episode. So, Star Wars The Acolyte is the stunning and brave tale of the golden rule of the High Council, or the Jedi High Council, when the Jedi were in their heydays. Now, when the show came out, there were a couple of interesting directions you could have gone. You could have told stories about the Sith slowly rising, explained the rule of 2. You could have had some cool Sith Lord action. You could have thrown Revan. On second thought, please don't touch anything with Revan or Malik. Let's just leave them alone. They could have done 1,000 different things. But I guess we're doing a Star Wars CSI. So I said to myself, Zod, let's not judge a book by its cover, right? Let's just give this a chance and see where it goes. So I was intrigued when they said they had gotten Carrie-Anne Moss. There was a lot of rumors, of course. You know, this was going to be a girl boss kind of show. But I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. And it came very clear to me when they killed the person they put on the posters in the first fucking 5 minutes that the show was not going to be good. But I did not realize the depth of shit we were going to get until this episode. So yes, this is a half rant for wasting my time up to 3 episodes. And this is my last review I will ever do of the show. I have no interest in finishing it. I don't care if they have cameos. Hello. And thank you for coming from Russia. Appreciate you. But I am going to talk to you guys about... oh, can you get a shout to my wife? Oh, okay. Hello. What's up? Thank you, everybody, for showing up. So, this is my review on Star Wars, The Acolyte, Episode 3. So, what is the show about? There's a mysterious figure killing Jedis. The Jedi must figure out who this figure is and stop them before they kill all these members in the High Council. Now, what's my problems with this episode? My problem is that this episode is the antithesis of bad writing. Now, I've heard a lot of people online talking about the thing with the witch and artificial pregnancy. That's not what bothers me in this episode. What bothers me in this episode is just the lack of creativity when it comes to writing. And what I mean is there's an evil twin sister. Stop me if you've heard that one. There is another new order that no one's ever heard of that has this mystical power that's come from left field. And it's just on another level boring. The biggest problem with the show is not the political nonsense that Star Wars has been pushing. None of that really matters. The issue with this show is fundamentally on a writing level, it is bad writing. This is some of the worst writing I have seen in a television show in quite a long time. There's no development to the mystery. There is cheap writing tricks done to highlight this mystery. Hey, Grimmel, what's up? What's up to everybody in the chat? Hopefully you enjoyed this. There's no elements of good writing in this show. So, the first episode, they kill their biggest draw, Carrie Moss. First 5 minutes in a cantina fight, and she gets killed by a dagger. Fine. Okay, whatever. Waste of fucking talent. But what do I know? I guess just a glorified cameo. Episode 2, nothing happens, basically. So I get to episode 3, and we get the backstory of who this figure is that's going around killing people. Now, the first thing is 8 episodes, and I understand having to reveal things, but they already give you who the killer is. We're just missing some of the motives of why. And odd decision to say the least, but wait for it. It's the oldest trope in the world. It is a twin sister that she never knew she had. But just to make it, hello, Cassie. Good to meet you. Welcome. But to make this trope even worse, they use this old ass trope that it's a twin sister and they were, I guess, artificially inseminated by the head of the witch. So there's a witch's coven who is composed of all women, and apparently they have the ability to use the threads, which I'm going to guess is the force basically, to impregnate themselves. Don't ask me the fucking logistics. It's not explained at all. Fine. You know what? I don't even have a problem with this trope because in Star Wars, Anakin Skywalker is immaculately conceived. People forgot that was a thing. He was just conceived by the Force. Stupidest storyline, but you could still make it work. My big issue with this is, after this talk of all of this empowerment and stuff, and hey, thank you. Love to see people from the Scotlands. Appreciate you coming through. Thank you, Dennis. But anyways, the biggest issue that I have with this is that even Anakin being immaculately conceived have features from the person that he was born to. But the two who were born don't look anything like the person who held them. So, look, I don't know how the biology of the Force works, but it's kind of weird they don't have horns because the mother's a green alien who has horns, and the other lady is the leader of the village. Obviously, she's black and has dreads. Completely different. One's an alien, one's a humanish, I gather. But yet, biologically, they look more like the witch mother. So that's just confusing within itself. But the other thing that is also staggeringly confusing about this episode is it adds nothing to the story that is going on. We have no movement with the murder mystery or the overall goal of the dark side. I have yet to see what Sith is pulling the strings. And I know this is episode 3. But look, you have 8 episodes to tell this story. And in the first 3, they've literally moved the story like on the needle, maybe a hair. Hey, lovely Sherry, good to see you, and welcome to my review of the horrid Acolyte. So, here's my issue. You have an 8-episode series. You are almost technically halfway through, and we have not learned a goddamn thing about the overall mystery. And here's the thing with mysteries, and the reason why I don't like Knives Out. Mysteries are supposed to incrementally move you towards giving you clues and breadcrumbs so that you can solve it yourself as the audience, so you can feel smart or you can follow along with the characters. But this doesn't work as a mystery because it doesn't leave breadcrumbs. It just gives you answers, which is not how a mystery works. And it doesn't work as a Star Wars show because it's boring as all hell. Even the fight scenes in this are completely boring. Like, I like the idea of using the Force to do some Taekwondo shit. I was a martial arts instructor. I appreciate them adding martial arts choreography. And it's been in Star Wars since the beginning. It's based on Japanese style swords and all that stuff. But the way that they use it and the way that the things are shot, it's flashy looking, yes, but it has no substance. It has no drive. A fight scene should have energy. Like John Wick, for example, right? Name me a boring fight in John Wick. You can't. The flow and the action is phonetic. The movements get you intrigued. The bones cracking, things happening, sights and sounds. This is shot lifeless. The moves and the choreograph are nice and flowy, but they have no impact or crunch or any weight to them. So it just feels like a choreography is what it feels like. It doesn't feel like a fight. It feels like a well-staged production, but it doesn't feel like I'm in the universe in a meaningful, impactful fight between two masters. And this is my problem that I have with this show. Is it shot beautifully? Yes. I mean, you're crazy and just hating if you say, oh, this is like, no, it's shot well. The special effects, for the most part, look good. But the issue is it is all flash and it's all eye candy with no substance behind it. The story is mediocre at best and barely investable, and there's no engaging characters. I love the dude from Squid Games who's in this. I forgot the actor's name. He's a great actor, but his character is so dull and lifeless, and that's really all of these characters. They have nothing to them. There's nothing that pushes or pulls or draws the audience's attention to them. Qui-Gon Jinn was quirky and kind of a loner, and you always got a feeling that he knew something. Obi-Wan Kenobi from episode 1 was brash, and you were interested to see how he became the well-tempered person later on in the series. Anakin was reckless and fit Obi-Wan style, and you wondered how he was going to teach him when he was reckless himself. Like, there were certain elements built into the characters that made them intriguing, but these characters are literally just archetypes. They're just cookie board cutout, stereotypical, strong female A, brooding male Jedi dude B. Like, they have nothing to them. There's no quirks. There's nothing interesting. There's nothing fascinating. The world itself feels bland as fuck. Like, the set pieces and designs are beautiful, yet they're dull and they're muted to me. There's no life to it. It's like Coruscant feels lifeless. The Jedi Temple doesn't have the same kind of joyful youthfulness in the days of Yoda and the other Jedi Council members. It just feels like this almost certain scenes a nursery for young Jedi. It doesn't have the same type of feel to it. It feels like stepping into Walmart, recreating something. Like, it feels very just corporate. It feels like a corporation of Jedi. And that could work if anything about this show was compelling, but it's just not. It's very bland and uninteresting. I think the biggest problem with this show is it's just not interesting. And I'm not the only one who said this. There's literally nothing to pull you in and make you care about any of these characters. And they've proved you could take a character like Andor that we know dies and make him fascinating, but you can't create another character and make them interesting. Like, there really is no soul in this writing, and you feel it in every frame, in every scene of this show. That's my biggest problem, is this does not feel like it's written with any passion. It feels like it's written by people who really don't give a shit about the story itself. And it feels written by like a corporation rather than living, breathing people. What's up, Lemon Pie? Sorry, I was in my rant. Good to see you, Pokedabber. My name is Lee King Byrne. How are you doing? Hey, nice to meet you. Thank you. But this feels like a Star Wars written by committee. It feels like they've taken and, the best way I could put this is when people talk about how scary it would be to have AI generated scripts and things like that, and Hollywood's in a huff. Yeah, this feels like they put all of these things into a computer and it wrote scripts. It's got the flash, it's got the glare, it's got the basic idea of what Star Wars is, but it doesn't have the heart or the soul or hell. Even I missed a corny dialogue. Like, let's be real, people. Star Wars back in the day had cool dialogue, but it's cheesy as hell. But there was a love, and there was people said their lines with conviction, and this has none of that. The actors don't even feel like they're trying, and the kid actors and the flashbacks in this episode are fucking atrocious. There's this one scene with them arguing, and she makes a comment like, "Why do I have to share my thing?" and blah blah blah, and one of the witch ladies is like, "Well, as a strong female, you must lift up other females." And they're saying all of this bullshit the whole entire time, and I'm rolling my eyes, of course. I'm used to it. You know what you're getting when you watch modern Star Wars. Okay, I'm not going to bitch about that. It's like beating a dead horse. But what it really perplexes me about this whole thing is that after all the empowerment bullshit, the evil twin burns the village and kills all of the women in the village. So are you trying to tell me being a strong, empowered woman is a waste of time and you guys are just going to backstab and kill yourselves anyways? I'm confused. What is your message? You spent fucking 45 minutes of my time drilling in my head how powerful this group is I never fucking heard of up until this point. Maybe the Sisters of the Knighthood is the closest thing I could think of who these witches were. And all of this bullshit with the thread and all this garbage that you want to just force in, and then you murder and kill everyone who knows this? What? You wasted the viewers' time. You got them invested in something they thought that was going to be important just to fucking burn the village to the ground and never bring it up again? Just to give a cool backstory and make your villain extra evil? Like, look at the boys in Homelander. Yes, he does outwardly evil shit, but what makes Anthony Starr so compelling as Homelander is not when he does something vicious, but when he has the intent to. When someone says something and he gives them a look, and you as an audience member are on the edge of your seat because you don't know, is this the moment he's just going to fucking snap and kill somebody? Or is he just going to do something crazy? That is what makes a good villain. What makes a good villain is not that they have to outwardly be dastardly evil, but it's you see them do something and then you're waiting and you don't know. I think a measured villain is even more scarier because you know what they're capable of, but their calmness is more scary than them going off and screaming and stuff. Kylo Ren. Anyways, what made like Darth Vader scary, to do a Star Wars comparison, was that Darth Vader talked low, and when he snapped and grabbed a dude by the neck and force choked him, you had no clue it came out of nowhere. He was perfectly calm, drinking his fucking cafe latte, chilling in the Star Destroyer. Some fucking dumbass administrator said something stupid, and you got force choke. It was comical in a sense, because it was like this dude could be set off at any notice, but he had a calm air to him. He didn't just go off fucking screaming and yelling and saying, "I'm the most evil. Look, I burned a village of innocent people." Like, this show is terrible. Hey, perp. Talking about the Acolyte, episode 3. So I don't know if you agree with me, but I'm sure you'll let me know. What makes these villains so terrible, and especially this evil twin sister, which, oh my God, most predictable trope in the world. No, I disagree. This was the worst episode, and this is my last review on the show, to be honest. It was garbage. What makes this even worse is the fact that at this point, a good mystery show should leave you breadcrumbs, and them just explaining everything ruins the premise of a murder mystery. Like, I don't understand what the aim of the show is or what the goal of the show is, but it sucks. It wasted my goddamn time with this village of fucking supposedly powerful witches that now we're not going to see anything about them because the fucking village was burnt down and they're all dead. Sorry, spoilers. It's fucking trash. I think this could have been an interesting thread. It would have been cool to have another faction out there. But I have no clue. It's like the Carrie Ann Moss kill. Why do you have Carrie Ann Moss if you're going to kill her in the first episode? It's like this show intentionally shoots itself in the foot with any good idea it might have. And like I said, the whole artificial insemination thing that people are focusing on, that doesn't really bother me because Anakin Skywalker was immaculately conceived. Literally, he was born out of thin air. That's in episode 1. It's a thing. People need to get over it. That part doesn't bother me. What bothers me about this is we wasted so much goddamn time in this village just to make the evil sister super evil. Oh no, she's not just any kind of evil. She burned down the village with all of the powerful people in it. You should fear her. Like, I'm tired of this writing. Like, the best villains, Darth Maul, Plagueis, Lord Sidious, all of these guys, they were so scary because they were behind the scenes. Or, hell, Perp, even your Attack on Titans, right? All of the villains operated behind the scenes, and they were calm and measured. And this thing of making people just do terrible shit just to make them super scary is boring. It's a boring villain trope. Like, this show is littered with tropes. And I just can't get over it. Evil twin sister? Like, soap operas don't even use that anymore. That's daytime soap shit. This literally is the CW of Star Wars shows with like a $200 million production. That's what this is. This is like watching a really bad CW show. The dialogue is on par with a CW show. The effects are slightly better. That's it. And yet, I don't agree that the production is horrible. It's a beautiful production. But like I said, it's lifeless. Nothing has soul. Nothing has anything to really bring it to life to make it pop. The chant that these people did was a goddamn waste of time and so fucking retarded. I don't even know why the fuck they had that scene in there. It was so fucking stupid. And half of it is boring. Like, even the fight scenes are just boring. This show is just a boring slog to get through, and I'm not going to waste my time on reviewing any more of this show. I've tapped out after 3 episodes. I like to give everything the benefit and watch everything to its completion because I'm a completionist. But honestly, I can't even like stay up through these episodes. It puts me to sleep. I had to drink like 2 back-to-back monsters to watch this bullshit for something that didn't even hook me for next week. And that's the other issue too. They should just drop these all at once because this show is so fucking boring that, and it was just like the Andor problem. 1 or 2 episodes, they don't have a hook. So there's nothing to hook you to get you to come back to next week. And if you can't hook anybody, then fuck it. Just do what you did with Echo and release the whole thing. And even I thought that show was good until the very end. Like, at least if you're going to gamble, release the whole entire thing. Because this one episode by episode just doesn't have the power to draw in its audience. This is really like, you need to binge the whole thing. And I'll come back and watch it when it's all released, but I'm not going to watch it week to week. It's fucking pointless. This is a goddamn waste of time. So I hope people enjoy their ride, but for me, this is where the ride stops. I might check this out when all the episodes drop, but I think it's going to confirm my suspicions because no resolution I can picture will make any goddamn sense at this point. It's a stupid waste of time. I would suggest, if you're morbidly curious on the most boring Star Wars ever made, not Andor, people cut it out. This would be the most boring. I'm not even saying it's bad. Like, it's just boring. This is the most boring Star Wars I have seen in years. I think ever. Even the Book of Boba Fett had moments where I was like, oh, okay, that was cool. or the last couple of episodes were awesome, even though that was really Mando season 3. But anyways, that's not the point. Yeah, this is boring bullshit. I'd say if you're interested and you want to do it to yourself, go ahead then and wait until this is all released and watch them all 8 episodes in order. Other than that, don't fucking suffer. Don't watch this trash. It's garbage. I give this episode a 2 out of 10, and it gets 2 points because it looks good. But honestly, this is like, after watching high quality shows for the past week, like I got done with Furies, which was an excellent show. Go watch that. Go to Netflix, go watch Furies. Don't watch this bullshit. This is bad. This is bad. This is like not even bad Star Wars. This is a bad television show in general. I'm talking, if you take Star Wars out of it and you just watch this as a regular show with a bunch of ninja and mystical shit happening, it's still a boring, bland, generic piece of shit. It's terrible. This is hack writing at its best, and it's a 2 out of 10 for me. And the first 2 episodes, I give the first one a 4 out of 10 and a second one a 3 out of 10. And maybe I'll review this as a whole when this piece of shit finally drops, but I'm not doing this week to week. This is a test in my mental patience that I just don't have. I got better shit to do. Check out our stream tonight. Like, I got more important shit to focus on. I'll rewatch Attack on Titan or watch the new episodes of My Hero Academia. Fuck this show. I am done. I need a mental break, and I'll come back and when there's more episodes out. And maybe if you guys like this review, I'll give you a full season thoughts. But for right now, the first 3 episodes are 4, 3, and 2. And by that trajectory, I don't think it's going to get any better. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Hopefully you're not wasting your time. Or let me know in the comments below if you actually think this is a good show. To each their own. I'm not going to judge you. I'm glad you're having fun, because this was horrible. And I really planned on doing weekly reviews, but I can't. This show sucks. It sucks. I hate it. I'm not going to put myself through torture just to do a fucking video. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Hit the like button. Join us tonight. We're going to be doing our tier list on the best Arnold and Sylvester Stallone movies. Their top 10. They'll compete for the #1 spot. Check that out with me, Pop Culture PB, Chris Knight, and Justin Proper. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this very angry / emotionally drained review. I'm going to go now and watch something that'll make me happy. Why you do this to me, Star Wars? Why?